Right, what's going on, y'all? It's hot and it's hot as day. But yo, this is for the future. Check this out, man. America always, the kids of the future. This for the future. Not in America. We don't work hard enough for this, man. We got fucked up teachers. We be passing the sports stars on just because we feel like it. We got a problem with concussions, according to Will Smith. You, you, you cats just don't seem to understand. You know what I mean? Like, whoop, you don't understand. So I hope this lengthy video right here will help y'all understand that we need students like these all over the world, determined students. That's why we say America's full of dreamers, because these are the hard-working cats is trying to come over here and get a good education, and they got to go through peril. They got to go through deadly scenarios just to get to school, and you people whining, and teachers getting teaching jobs that don't want to teach and realize that the garbage man make more and the president don't make that much. You know what I'm saying? So you got to learn from these cats. So I'll be back with commentary in a minute. It's your girl, Touch your boy, Charlotte Carolina, and let's snap ourselves into existence so we can't no more. Let's go.
But none of them were like these. The world's most dangerous ways to school. Freezing, climbing, risking their lives, all for the chance of a better future. Spectacular and sometimes simply beautiful. The world's most dangerous ways to school. The Bajo Cauca region in northern Colombia. Its landscape is marked by water and seemingly endless expanses. Every day, the children who live there face this rough, unpredictable wilderness with just one goal in mind: making it to school. Because this is their chance to break out of poverty and create a better life. For this, they subject themselves to a daily dose of danger. Some of them must cross a ramshackle bridge that could collapse at any moment. Others are confronted with waters and bogs. Each day they carry not only a backpack, but also the fear of coming face to face with a dangerous animal. For the Diojos family, the day starts at 4:30 in the morning. While daughter Candice is still sleeping, Father Salvador and Mother Yacidis prepare breakfast. Like most people in this region, they live with very meager means. In this small wooden hut, they have just enough money for food. All the more reason why the 28-year-old mother wants to give her children the chance to have a better life. With the sunrise at 6 o'clock, Yacidis wakes her daughter, Candice. Like almost every morning, the 10-year-old doesn't have much time. Lessons will begin in just 2 hours. Candy School is far away, and getting there is a major undertaking. There is no running water. The people who live here use collected rain and river water for cooking, laundry, and washing themselves. Kendi's 11-year-old sister goes to the high school in the next bigger village of Kuturu, 20 kilometers away. The parents taught their two daughters what school is at an early age.
I like to go to school. I learn a lot there.
Her teacher promotes the talents of the individual students. For Kendi's, it's painting.
This is from a movie we watched. The man had to collect the stones, and when someone touches the stones, they turn to gold.
About 50 families live in the community of La Veridad Escuela. To get from A to B, the residents mainly use motorcycles or boats, or they have to walk, like Kendi's and the other school children.
The roads are very bad. It's super slippery. When it rains hard, we don't even go to school.
The distance and the path across a dangerous bridge are enough of a challenge for the children, in addition to the heat and high humidity, which make walking difficult. Just past 6:30 in the morning, Kendi sets off. Her mother joins her on the first leg of the journey to school. Temperatures are already around 32 degrees Celsius. But this is the least of Kendi's problems. What she's thinking about now is the bridge she has to cross. Living just a half hour away from her by boat, the school day starts differently for Kendi's classmate. 10-year-old Juan Carlos lives on his grandparents' farm.
I like horseback riding best. But I also like to drive the cows in. Those ones over there. I know all of them by name. When I call them, they come.
Like almost every morning, Juan has to bring the cows in from the pasture. It is not uncommon here for children to grow up with relatives. Juan's mother doesn't make enough money to raise two kids, so she decided to keep her younger son with her and sent Juan to his grandparents. While Juan drives the last cows in, his grandfather, Jorge, begins with the milking. As a result of selling milk and cheese, he is among the better earners in the region. From his perspective, the fact that his grandson has to help does have its advantages.
He's learning how to care for the cows. For example, how to give them medication and help with birthing.
After half an hour, Juan returns with the cows. He still has 1.5 hours before class starts, exactly the time he needs to get to school. He's usually the last to arrive.
I can let the ducks out and feed the chicks. Then I shower and go.
Even if one is late and has to hurry, breakfast is important. The physical work makes one hungry, and there's still a tough road ahead. To make sure he has enough strength, he eats rice, eggs, cheese, and avena, an oat drink. Juan doesn't have to cross the rickety bridge like Candice does, but he faces his own challenges.
I have to go on a canoe, and it can tip over very easily. And then there's a spot where I'm up to my chest in the water.
That's why Juan puts his school uniform in his backpack and changes into it later. Grandmother Ana Maria always finds it difficult to see her grandson off.
Chao. Mírame, chao. Me da mucha tristeza.
I'm very sad when I see him go away.
Así es.
And rightly so. There are many dangers lurking along the 1.5-hour walk to school. River currents, swamps, poisonous animals, and the rising heat. Candice and her mother Yasiris are only a few meters away from the bridge. Class starts in just an hour. After strong rains, they have to leave even earlier in the morning, because then the road is especially slippery and muddy.
The bridge is the most dangerous part of the way to school. Anything could happen at any time, both on the way there and back. It's the hardest part.
Without the bridge, it would take Candice yet another hour to get to school. The children are never allowed to cross the decaying wooden construction alone. If anything should happen, someone else needs to be able to get help. This is why the 10-year-old meets her classmates, Andrea, Niver, and Nihidi at the bridge. Yes, this bridge. 180 meters long, 4 meters high. The footbridge is made of thin, rotting tree trunks that are only loosely connected. One false step, and they're certain to fall into the smelly water. The children could seriously injure themselves, or even drown.
I'm afraid I'm going to fall down and break my foot or my hand. It's always dangerous to cross a bridge.
From the very first step, the children have to keep their concentration. With every day and each downpour, the bridge becomes more unstable.
Es una sensación de que I'm afraid the children might fall, and if the wood breaks, they could drown or break their legs. I'm tortured with worry the whole day.
The nearest hospital is 2 hours away, and treatment would be expensive. children have only one thought: to cross the wooden bridge safely. The wooden bridge their parents built for them to shorten their way to school. Kendi's father, Salvador, helped to build the bridge. Like 90% of the villagers, he has no permanent work. He does odd jobs like working in the fields or fishing, with which he earns the equivalent of just 280 euros a month. 2 years ago, it wasn't possible to move so freely. The guerrilla movement, FARC, had the area firmly in its grip. It fought against the government and its supporters. The population still suffers from the consequences, but is trying to get their lives back.
Now, there's some strong kids that I think want to go to school and get an education. But what about the teachers? You can't put all the blame on the children. If the teachers don't want to teach and make it innovative and creative, then it won't be. But you need a teacher like this. Number one, she's dedicated. This is what staying in school really means. And not to mention, she's bad. She's a baddie, y'all. Not to mention that. You feel me? So let's go.
One basic rule is never step on the same trunk as someone else. If a trunk breaks and one child falls in the water, at least the other will be able to go for help. While the children are still fighting to get over the bridge, their teacher arrives at school. Yuri's journey with the motorcycle taxi begins Mondays at midnight. Over the weekend, she always travels to her hometown of Medellin, 7 hours away. About 2 years ago, the government rebuilt the school. During the week, it's Yuri's home. It's a small chamber with no windows and no daylight, but Yuri tries to make the best of it.
It's my calling to be a teacher. If you don't feel called, you can't deal with it. There are tons of mosquitoes in my room. In the beginning, there was nothing. I had to bring everything from Medellin. It was really hard for me. There was no TV, no mattress, no blanket. It's difficult every time.
2 years ago, Yuri got one of the few permanent jobs available for teachers. It was a big shock when she learned where she was placed. Now, she has made it her goal to spread knowledge in remote places like this.
It's a big challenge. I'm afraid for my students. I don't feel calm because there's always something that could happen. They could drown or hurt themselves. The bridge is really difficult for the children.
Yuri now has a good half an hour of worrying until the first children begin to arrive. Candice and her friends will soon have made it, if all goes well. The closer they get to the shore, the faster they go.